Hey guys, Goals here. Today we're going to be going over the portfolio. It's late at night. I just got back from a trip. And before I forget, a reminder, I will be gone for pretty much the next month until the 25th of September. I'm going on a pretty long vacation. So, yeah, that'll be starting on Thursday. So I will get out the video for the yield max distributions on Wednesday, assuming that they come in on that day, as they should. And then after that, I will probably not make any videos until I get back. So there is that. But moving on to the portfolio information, first of all, we can see that the market was kind of a mix this week. I would say mostly green, especially on like consumer or communication services. Technology was mostly green. Financials mostly green. There's stuff like utilities and consumer staples that went bad, but overall not too bad. Moving into the portfolio tracker, we can see here the last week we actually beat SPY by marginally. Most of that coming from the M1 Finance portfolio. We are a little bit down on the Composer portfolio and actually quite a bit up on Webull. So that's pretty cool. Moving on to Webull, we are at 207, which is pretty cool. You can see that's $26 up from last week, which is nice. Still at 84% down since holding this, but I'm just going to keep holding. So yeah. On M1 Finance, I just today put in a deposit for $1,500. So this was about 1,500, bucks difference, but overall, we can go to the week and we can see here the top ones for the week. So healthcare went up quite a bit. That's mostly come from Eli Lilly rebounding. Overall, the other ones did rebound as well. So Vertex is saw quite a big jump as well, but still below, and I'll get into that. We also got consumer discretionary, largest one being Home Depot, and also actually, sorry, that's not true. Largest one being Amazon, and then Home Depot. Costco's still down a little bit. And last but not least, financials, with the largest one being Visa and MasterCard and Morgan Stanley coming close afterwards. So, and then in terms of the worst performing side, we had industrials with the highest loss from John Deere at 4.23% down for the week. And then we also had utilities. The highest loss there was from Duke. And last but not least, for semiconductors, the lowest loss was Nvidia. So overall, yeah, but not too bad. But in terms of the holdings, we are sitting up at the highest AMD at 69% still, Nvidia at about 49%, and AVGO at 46%. And the lowest, like I said, Vertex, Eli Lilly, both down, and then we have Procter and Gamble, ExxonMobil, and AMT. Some of these are just rebounding from, or slowly rebounding from their earnings. These these three in particular, actually, pretty much everything past here. Most of these companies actually that are in the red are from bad earnings, but we will see. So yeah. And then onto the Composer portfolio. So there was honestly a decent movement on, I think it was Thursday. So Tuesday, Thursday, pretty good. And then it kind of fell off on Friday, which really sucks. I am investigating some alternative strategy placements. Using some pretty cool stuff like genetic algorithms to kind of find the best pairing and best weights and all that kind of stuff, as well as really like clustering. And there's so much stuff. There's so much data to go through. It's kind of hard and takes so much time to compute. So trying to find a way to look at this. I don't think that this portfolio is bad. Although something that I really, I did point out in the previous video or videos, I don't know which one it was the correlations between the strategies. Like equal weighted did perform well, but there's actually ways to make it perform even better, and that's finding strategies that are somewhat correlated. I did look at the return correlations on Maestro, but something I did not look at was the drawdown correlations. So it's kind of important to look at both of those because you can use, hypothetically, we'd want a good hedge when things go down, and also a good way to like kind of bring down our total volatility as well as max drawdown of the portfolio. So that's kind of what I'm looking into right now. Because some of these, like Auto Composer, hasn't really done a lot, and a lot of this I think is just due to how it or what it holds. A lot of these are individual tickers, which I'm not really a huge fan of, but and then there's other ones that like this one was up quite a bit, but lost a lot of it. I think this is the one of the most volatile ones on this portfolio specifically. So something that I got to keep in mind. Also, we're not too far down. We're only about $50 down, and but that being said, we're almost a month into this, and we're about you know a little bit down. So you know it's not really filling me with confidence. Really, I looked in the back tests for all of these, and they should be their expected return according to quant stats should not be obviously negative on any month. Or I don't think like there are worse months. I mean, we might be in within margin actually. Now I think about it, but yeah, like I said, I've been gone since like Friday, so I haven't really had a lot of time, and I've been pretty busy with at work. I'm trying to like finish up some work before I go on the long vacation. So, very busy, but I did just make $500 contribution here, and like I mentioned here, $1,500, and then I will also be making another contribution next month. So by the time you see me, it'll be another $2,000 in that portfolio, the total portfolio. So yeah. Hopefully, eventually, we'll be able to raise that to 3,000. Me and my wife are trying to like figure things out, obviously. But we'll see. It will for sure stay at 2,000, like at the lowest, because I think that's what we can definitely manage. But we're talking, in the works of doing 3,000. But we'll see. Anyhow, that is it from me. And as always, I wish you guys a wealthy future.